Celebrates Children. My name is Iris Galicia. We are so happy to have you back with us today. We have a special guest, Mayor Arriola. Welcome to Tracy Celebrates Children live telethon. Woo!
Awesome. Well, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Thank you for coming. So, how is your lovely Saturday morning so far?
You know, it's been good. I got a bagel. I had some coffee. It needs to kick in, but that's how I like to start my Saturday morning. You know,
Yes.
Get settled in, be rested, ready to start your day.
Yeah, I just had my matcha. It was delicious.
Yes.
Starbucks has protein matchas now. If you want to go get that. So I'm just gonna ask you a few questions about how it is being mayor of Tracy, California.
Absolutely.
So when you were a kid, did you always know you wanted to run for any sort of office or become the mayor of Tracy, California?
No. So for those who don't know, I grew up in the city of Tracy. I went to Jacobson, Monte Vista, West High, but I really grew up in a really low-income household, and so it was just. I'm a first-generation American. English isn't my first language. No one in my family had gone to college before me, so a lot of these things didn't really seem like they were plausible, like they were viable. But I knew that I wanted to kind of change those circumstances of poverty for my family. So for me, it was like I wanted to get an education and I wanted to give back somehow, but I didn't quite know what that was going to look like. It ended up being an elected office, but there's so many ways to help your community. You don't need a title or a particular position to help. There are always ways to help. So I kind of grew into the role. I went to UCLA for undergrad, USC for law school, and then as soon as I graduated, passed the bar exam, I came right back home. And so I launched a law firm and I worked in the region. At the time doing criminal defense work, civil rights work, and now I'm a criminal prosecutor. And so I kind of was of the position that, you know, when I was growing up, you hear of these professionals, like doctors and lawyers, and I thought those were things to kind of aspire to. I also kind of fell in love with the entertainment industry, and I thought maybe I'll kind of go do something in that.
The glitz and glam.
Yes, which was very different than Tracy.
Yeah.
But I went and experienced that, and then I realized it wasn't quite for me. It wasn't quite the way that I thought I could participate in making a difference. So when I came back and launched a law firm, I thought that, I get to do work with individuals on oftentimes, the worst point in their lives as a lawyer. And so I thought that's what I was going to do, impacting folks' lives. And I was really young. I was 25 when I had my own law firm, and so I was really fortunate that other people had reached out to me and helped lift me up. And now, former or retired Senator Susan Eggman, she reached out to me, bought me a coffee, and she's like, "I need you to run for office."
Oh, how cool!
And it was such a cool concept. And that's when I ran for school board. I won a school board race before I went to city council and then became the mayor. But it all happened very quickly once someone reached out and helped lift me up. And so I thought, okay, well, I thought politics was kind of cool. I studied political science in college, but I thought, a lot of our elected officials are, not often young people running for office.
They
So
don't
I thought,
represent the demographic that's
absolutely.
looking up to them.
And so I had thought that maybe I'll go into politics when I retire from being a lawyer, right? And then, but it took other people reaching out and helping lift me up to show that was a reality and a possibility. And so then I ran and I won, and I'm here. This is my 10th year in elected office, which is kind of crazy.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And so I always take it upon myself now to recognizing that it took other people to reach out and help lift me up to do the same. So one of my biggest priorities has been focusing on youth initiatives, which is why I'm so excited to join you for Tracy Celebrates Children. But I always really try and focus on building up young leaders, new leaders, because especially when you grow up kind of under the circumstances that I did, I know a lot of elected officials who their families were in and they just kind of had those pathways. I didn't, so I feel like it's really important to reach out to folks, let them know that they can do it, that there shouldn't be any one typical kind of person who goes into these leadership roles. Everyone can be a leader in their own way, and we need to help elevate all folks to rise up, and people did it for me, so I'm hoping that I can do it for others.
That's very inspiring. It truly is, because I know I come from a Latino family, and so it is really important to show representation in positions like yours because it allows the youth to feel that they can aspire to be something that maybe they not always feel like they can. So that's very important. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
So did you have any role models growing up when if you wanted to go into politics, or not even in politics now that you mention it, but did you have any role models that you felt I want to be that one day, or I want to be in a position where I can have like influence like that one day?
It's kind of a really tricky question, and so the answer is I don't feel like I had those kind of traditional role models growing up. But the reality is, when I was growing up here, there weren't people who looked like me in positions of power locally. So I am the son of Portuguese immigrants and the grandson of Mexican immigrants, and as a first generation American, I learned English when I moved to Tracy at the age of 3, and I didn't have those people to see in these positions, but I had this kind of like dream of aspiration of a possibility. And so I recognized that in order to get to that outcome of, being able to make a difference, that I really needed to focus on the pathway. And for me, that was getting an education. So by the time I was 13 years old, I was working as a janitor and house cleaner here in town with my mom. And there is nothing that will inspire you like cleaning other people's toilets and bathrooms while you're in high school. But so I say that I didn't have the traditional role models when I was kind of younger. And then when I got into college, one of my biggest role models was President Obama. And I mention that because while I was at UCLA, they have a program with the U.S. Department of State where they select 100 American students to then go international and be student diplomats. And I was selected for this program when I was 19 or 20 years old. And so I got to work representing the Obama administration in Portugal. And so it was such an incredible, I think it was like a 4-month experience, but I got to live in Portugal. I got to attend diplomatic meetings, work with military leaders, work with American and European officials. And it just was so inspiring it was right after President Obama had been elected, the first time I got a vote because I had just turned 18. And just being so inspired by that message of empowerment and hope, and something that was different than before that we hadn't seen. Really trying to elevate diverse voices, and then getting to work for President Obama was incredible. And that's when I realized that I really loved working with folks on the ground. And so I represented the American populace in Portugal, but I got to talk to people, everyday people, and talk about what the American experience was like. And that's how my kind of political journey got started, just an internship abroad. And that's something that I feel was kind of the foundation that I got to build upon. And it's led me here. And so I hope that, as the first in many rights myself, that I get to inspire others to hopefully go. And I always tell folks, so I'm the youngest elected mayor in the history of the city, but I always want people to beat my record. So I want other people to run for office, become leaders, do the work. Like I said, you don't need a title to do it. And I know like you, and I know a lot of your friends do such incredible work in the community. I follow you guys on Instagram and everything. But it takes those people every day, and that's how you make a difference in people's lives.
I completely agree with you. It's very inspiring to see someone who goes after those things, and sometimes, we don't have role models, so we have to be our own role models and go after the things we want, and that's kind of encouraging too. It's motivating to know I can be that role model for someone else, and I do want someone to beat my record. I want someone to be better than me, like after this.
And that's the thing I want to highlight is, even if someone who looks like you, someone who hasn't had your lived experience, hasn't done it, it doesn't mean that you can't do it. And so there always has to be a first person. But my big thing is, we may be the first, but we can't be the last. So we need to make sure that we're breaking barriers, that we're shattering ceilings to allow other people who may be inspired by us, or who may have a similar lived experience to ours, to come to join us at the table to make these decisions. And I think we're in a really exciting time that we're seeing a lot of this, locally, nationally, worldwide, and it's So there are still firsts to be had. We need to make sure that we're not the last. So let's raise others up.
Yeah, I completely agree. Did you have any events or activities similar to Tracy Celebrates Children that really, like in your community, or I guess Tracy, that were really exciting and you wanted to, that really impacted you, or was there kind of an absence of that?
I really think there was kind of an absence of it when I was growing up here. So I think when I graduated high school in 2007, Tracy had about 55,000 people. So it's about half the size it is now. And there was only 2 high schools. We had Tracy and West. So it was like such a big crosstown rivalry. But the town kind of felt a lot smaller when you had the 2 high schools, and the city wasn't as widespread, so it was a lot more centered. So there's a lot more activity downtown. And I know we're on social media, we're talking about doing my high school reunion. I'm just like kind of crazy. And we're even talking about potentially doing it with West High and Tracy High together, because our schools were so intermingled in social events all the time. So we may not have had something, kind of from the ground up like Tracy Celebrates Children, but we did have ways to engage locally. I was super involved in leadership, which is why I make it a really big point to reach out to the different leadership schools of the high schools. And so we were doing things in the community, but it wasn't something like this been done here. And I think this is so incredible, and it's taking it outside of just the school experience into the greater community. And I think that's a really inspiring piece, because you guys are leaders on your campuses, and you guys do amazing work on your campuses. And I love when you branch out, you come to downtown, you have parades, all the athletic events. That's what gets folks, really excited about our community. I think when people talk about Tracy, the thing that makes Tracy special is that it still feels like a small town.
Yeah.
And the reality is we have just over 100,000 people in the city, so we're not really a small town. And as an elected leader, I need to think about public policy, and we are shifting the way that public policy is enacted here, because we're no longer that so small of a city.
Yeah.
However, the thing that makes Tracy's character so unique and special is that it feels like a small town. But the way that you make it feel like a small town is being proactive about it. You can't just passively expect a growing, diversifying city to have that same feeling. You have to actively go out and do it. And so I think that's why, as an elected leader, I've really been trying to support the expansion of downtown events. We're really trying to encourage our schools to do these types of community engagement events, because even if you don't have, like, I don't have children, but I know my friends love to go watch like the high school parades, because there's such you have this just like memory of your own high school experience, and it just brings it back to feeling like home in a small town. And a lot of other places don't do that.
Yeah.
And when so as an elected official, I've had such incredible opportunities to meet so many other leaders in other cities, in other states, in other countries. Yeah. And I tell them that we still do downtown parades, and they're like, "Are you serious?" And not everyone does that. And I think it's such a beautiful thing. And so we had some of that when I was growing up, but it kind of felt like it stayed on our campuses for the most part, other than like a homecoming parade. But what you all are doing is going so far beyond that, because there are events throughout the cities. You're engaging businesses throughout the city. Just on the drive to the studio here, I actually live really close to here.
Yeah.
But there's not a lot of things that happen on this part of town other than Legacy Fields.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see folks branching out in different parts of town, getting engaged, and our young people activating parts of our communities that maybe haven't gotten enough love or attention. And you all can do that in such an impactful way. And I think another component too is the way that we engage with one another has absolutely changed.
Yeah.
So when I was growing up here, the Tracy Press was a daily newspaper, and everyone read it. That's where everyone got all their news. It's now a weekly paper, and a lot of the engagement has switched to social media. And I think that that's tough for a lot of people tough for a lot of adults to kind of embrace that change. But one of the things that I've really tried to highlight is that the change is going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
The one consistent in life is that change is going to happen, but we need to figure out what the young people are doing, how to engage them, and you all being on social media is what we need to tap into to reach out to the rest of the community. And so you guys are doing it fantastic.
Thank you so much for everything you said today. I think we're really inspired by you. We're really inspired to go after the things we want, to get into positions like yours, to cause change, to make change, to make influential change, and to really focus on the youth and inspire them. So thank you so much. We are going to keep talking after this, but we will be right back. Stay tuned because we have more to talk about with Mayor Arriola.
We'll be right back with the Tracy Celebrates Children 12-hour live telethon.
Welcome to the world of Menchie's Frozen Yogurt.
Tracy Celebrates Children this year,
where there are always new flavors and toppings to try. And all your favorite classics too. And now you can also get your delicious frozen yogurt in a customized cake, where you choose the yogurt flavors and filling. Choose from hundreds of designs. Celebrate with a Peppa Pig cake, or even your own photo. Create your magical moment with Menchie's frozen yogurt cakes.
check out our friends at Menchie's Frozen Yogurt in Gateway Plaza at Tracy Celebrates Children this year.
I'm Jesse with Chorizo Don Fernando. We're a local Tracy business dedicated to one thing: the perfect chorizo. We make chorizo the way it's meant to be. No fillers, no additives, just fresh artisanal quality. From our signature pork to our spicy chicken, we bring the heat and the flavor to your kitchen table. We're growing fast and we're not slowing down. Stay tuned for our upcoming chorizo verde and our incredible new vegetarian blend. Elevate every meal with a taste that's truly local. Chorizo Don Fernando, because your table deserves the authentic choice.
Code Ninja's Code Your Own Arcade Camp is for ninjas that love retro games. Ninjas will create retro-style arcade games with Microsoft MakeCode Arcade. Ninjas will combine the power of coding with game design to enhance their programming skills and develop games inspired by classic platformers, adventure games, and more. Let's go retro at Code Ninjas. We make coding fun. Enroll today. CodeNinjas.com/campinfo.
Check out our friends at Code Ninjas Tracy during Tracy Celebrates Children. With their Create Your Own Game workshop, space is limited. Check out TracyCelebrateSchildren.com for more info.
Welcome to our family, the Catalyst family. For over 50 years, Catalyst Kids has been offering quality programming for children, including infants, toddlers, preschoolers, and school-age children up to 8th grade. With more than 160 locations, Catalyst Kids Centers are located across the state in 42 cities throughout California. Odds are we have one near you. At Catalyst Kids, learning is hands-on. Our teachers want us to explore, and what we learn is based on what interests us. Our centers are designed to let us shine. They spark our imagination and creativity, letting us discover and grow. If we can imagine it, we can do it. The sky's the limit, and Catalyst is the spark. I'm proud to be a Catalyst kid.
Happy kids are Catalyst kids!
Happy kids are Catalyst kids.
Happy kids are Catalyst kids.
Join our friends at Catalyst Kids Jacobson site at Tracy Celebrates Children this year.
Hi, my name is James Herron. I'm the General Sales Manager here at Tracy Honda. I'd like to introduce you to my team along with our brand new building.
Welcome to Tracy Honda. My name's Anthony and this is our great team. Come on down if you want to take a look at some of our products.
Aquí en Tracy Honda estamos para servirles a comprar el carro de sus sueños. Yo soy Esteban Díaz, ella es Ana, él es Juan. Bienvenidos. We're offering only here at Tracy Honda 1,000 off accessories and 2 free oil changes.
Hi, I'm Connor at Tracy Honda. Come on down. We'd love to help you out.
Tom Dienda, brand ambassador here for 2 years. Come on down for some great deals.
Isaiah, Tracy Honda. If you're looking for a new car, used car, I'll help you out. Come see me.
Yuri, Tracy Honda. We work with almost every financier in Northern California. We'll help you out.
We have over 150 lending institutions that we utilize.
And it's me, Mohammed Han for Tracy Honda.
सत श्री अकाल जी, मेरा नाम गुरसेव सिंह, तुसी सारे जानते ही हो. I work at Tracy Honda. Let me help you get your dream car. Visit us at Tracy Honda.
Check out our friends at Auntie Anne's in the West Valley Mall during Tracy Celebrates Children for a free soft pretzel for children under 12.
Hello, this is Sparkles the Clown. Ravioli and I look forward to seeing you at Tracy Celebrates Children this year. If you want to get a hold of us for your own birthday party or any activities in the Central Valley, please give us a call at 209-835-8383, 209-835-8383, and check us out at zanyentertainment.com. We'll see you soon at Tracy Celebrates Children. Bye.
The Tracy High School Child Development Pathway is excited to see you at Tracy Celebrates Children this year. We'll see you soon. Stay up to date with our program on Instagram at THSROP Childcare.
Welcome back to the Tracy Celebrates Children 12-hour live telethon.
Welcome back to Tracy Celebrates Children. My name is Iris Galicia. I'm here with Mayor Arriola, and we are so excited to be talking here today. So let's get right back into the interview.
Absolutely.
So my next question was, what advice would you give to kids who want to get involved in their community?
I think you kind of just have to get started. So I think that sometimes folks are always kind of like waiting to be asked to do something. And I think one of the biggest things I've realized is that, you know, you don't have to wait. It doesn't have to be the right time. You don't need to be invited to do it. Just go out there and make it happen. And I think it's what's so incredible about Tracy Celebrates Children is that this is really like youth driven. It's our student leaders who didn't need to ask permission and just went out and did it because they wanted to do something for a good cause. And I think that's so incredible. So I think if you want to make a change, one, figure out something that you're passionate about. If it's something that inspires you, if it's something that is, you know, deep in your heart, it's not going to feel like work. It's just going to come naturally. So find what you're passionate about it and just get started somehow. And the good thing about it is in today's, you know, modern world, there's a way to engage remotely. You know, you don't have to, we were talking offline. It doesn't, you don't need to be in Hollywood to do the whole entertainment thing. We have access to social media here. People do all these things remotely. There are ways to get involved. Sometimes you got to get a little creative to do it, but just go out there and get started. Another thing I would say is, if there happens to be folks who are already doing something similar to what you're interested in, don't be afraid to ask. So like for me, like I said, when I came back, I had my own business. I was working in a law firm, but I thought politics was something that was very interesting to me. But then I started reaching out to, once former Senator Susan Eggman reached out to me, I was like, okay, well, I wanted to learn more about what that meant locally, because I didn't come from a political family or anything, And so I reached out to folks, seeing how could I get involved? How could I participate? And I think if you have that passion, that drive, that ambition, you're gonna find that the folks around you are willing to invest in you, willing to talk to you, willing to spend some time with you. Yeah. When I got invited here, I was like, absolutely, for the children, yes. Of course, let me clear my schedule. There are people who are willing to help. There are people who want to support efforts in so many different areas. So if you're passionate about something, find a way to get started. If there are folks already in that field, like in politics, reach out to me. I love meeting folks for coffee who might be interested in how to be a lawyer, how to get involved in politics, what does our city do on the day-to-day. Those are all things that can be done here locally in Tracy. And if it's something that doesn't exist yet, find the community where it can happen. There are so many ways, like I said, on social media to engage, or find like-friended friends who might find it interesting. So I think one of the coolest things, especially in high school, is that high school is kind of the first time where you get to explore what your interests are, and there are so many different clubs and activities. And I'm really close with all of the leadership teachers, because those are the folks I engage with to say, hey, I would love more student opinions on these things. But they always tell me when things are happening, like really cool events, Rush Week. Yeah. And I know when I got the lists for Rush Week, I was like, there are so many cool, diverse clubs and all these different eclectic interests that weren't even around when I was a kid. And so I'd say if it's something that's interesting to you, find a friend who is interested in it and start a club on campus. There are ways to get involved, but you got to take that first step. So don't be afraid to take that first step. Just go out and do it. You don't need to ask permission to be a leader. You just need to take the step, take the initiative, and build that pathway, because nothing happens overnight, but everything starts with the first step.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I think, it does. I often feel this way, where I feel like I need to be put in a certain category, or I need to do something specifically that, I need to ask permission to do it, to start a project. But I could do it myself. Why not start it by yourself? And but that leads me to my next